There's a lot of factions within ZANU-PF at the moment. There are people that are for 2030, which is people that want the current president, Emmerson Mnangagwa, to remain in power until 2030. There are people that don't want him to be in power in 2030. They want Constantino Chiwenga, the powerful vice president who led the military coup that put Mnangagwa in power. They want him to get into power in 2028. There's been even instances where people have been at each other's throats that you've thought it's about to boil over. But this is what we found. First, we spoke to ZANU-PF's spokesman, Christopher Mchangwa, and he claims that there is not a chance that Emmerson Mnangagwa wants to be in power in 2030. However, he says the whole 2030 agenda is a ploy, a plot to distract and stop Chiwenga rising up to become the vice president. He brings up a lot of reasons why that is the case, including personal allegations about his personal life. Outside of that, Christopher Mchangwa himself, he has an interest. He also wants that hot seat. He doesn't say it to us in the interview, but we hear from people around him that he sees himself as a dark horse, as a potential presidential candidate. So the question becomes, with all this happening, where does Chiwenga stand and where does the army stand? Surely nobody does a coup and doesn't benefit from it and is okay with just ending at vice president, right? It's like buying a loaf of bread, but then your neighbor gets to eat it and you're content with just holding the empty plastic bag. And Chiwenga is the former commander of the Defense Forces, so therefore the army comes into play. But guess what? Mchangwa says the army is not activista. They were completely neutral apparently in 2017, and they only orchestrated a coup when Hephaestus Bonyongwe, the Minister of Justice, tried to arrest the sitting generals. This is what Mchangwa says. We put some of the claims that Mchangwa gave us to the presidency, and they were rejected. They said, nah, Mchangwa is a madman, he's crazy, he's talking out of his butt. Basically, that's what they said. We put them to people around Constantino Chiwenga, and they said, Chiwenga is focused on supporting his principal, the president. He is not thinking about 2027, 28, 29. He's thinking about supporting the president now in the goal to see Vision 2030. And so we went to the next person, Ziyambi, the Minister of Justice. Well, we didn't speak to him, but we spoke to sources around him. And again, he said the same thing. He said Vision 2030 is some grand ploy. It's about an idea. It's about developing Zimbabwe into a middle-income economy with or without President Emmerson Mnangagwa. You can watch the entire video, the entire episode, the entire story on our Dug Up YouTube, and then